There is an old tale about persimmons foretelling the winter weather. But wait, what is a persimmon? Well, it's a fruit that grows on a tree. Now, how do they grow? The persimmon all starts with a flower. As you can see, in the middle is the ovary, and around it are the petals, calyx, and the stamen of the flower. As the flower matures, we can see that the ovary grows bigger, and over time turns into our actual fruit of the persimmon. But guess what? They can do it without pollination. You heard me. A trait known as parthenocarpy, California commercial cultivars Hachia and Fuyu can set seedless fruit without pollination when no other pollinating varieties are nearby. Parthenocarpy in persimmons varies by cultivar, region, climate, and nutritional status, and is not well understood. For example, in the eastern and southern U.S., the American persimmon requires pollination to set fruit. It is also important to note that persimmon trees are deciduous and lose their leaves in the winter. Therefore, you may see a tree with no leaves but lots of fruit, as fall is the prime season for persimmons. But there is so much more to their story. You see, persimmons are not native to this area. In fact, the persimmon is native to China, where it has been cultivated for centuries and many varieties exist. From China, it spread to Korea and Japan, where even more varieties thrive. It wasn't until the 1850s that it found its way across the Pacific to the United States. Today, persimmons can be found in the warm southern states, the cool northwest, and in California, such as the very spot you stand. Today in California, there are two main commercial varieties or cultivars of persimmons, the Fuyu and the Hachia. Now, the Fuyu persimmon is crunchy and sweet, while the Hachia is soft and pudding-like. This is important because Fuyu are non-astringent, while Hachia are astringent. And astringency relates to the amount of tannins found in the fruit. Tannins are bitter-tasting organic substances that bind to proteins. They cause the uncomfortable dry mouth, furry tongue feeling that comes with biting an unripe persimmon or drinking extraordinarily tannic wine by binding the proteins in your saliva to the proteins in your tongue. It is a known fact that if you eat too much ripe persimmon on an empty stomach, you will become sick. This is because the thickening of tannins will happen so quickly and vigorously inside your stomach that it can bind the persimmon tissue into an indigestible mass that cannot pass into your intestine and can cause digestive havoc that will require surgery to fix. So how do you even eat a persimmon? Furthermore, why should you eat one? Like any fruit, there are a myriad of things you can make with persimmons. A favorite recipe is persimmon mousse. The thickening quality provided to astringent persimmons from tannins makes them excellent ingredients, and they have great nutritional value. Persimmons are high in beta-carotene and minerals such as sodium, magnesium, calcium, and iron. And studies have found that they also contain twice as much dietary fiber per 100 grams as apples, plus more of the phenolic compounds thought to ward off heart disease. Beta-carotene is the precursor for vitamin A and is the cause behind the bright orange coloring of persimmons, kind of like a carrot. Now you may still be wondering, how do persimmons foretell the winter weather? Well, take a persimmon seed and cut it in half. If you see a fork, there will be much snow. A knife points to cold, and a spoon points to mild weather. Thanks for listening, and happy forecasting. For additional information, please see the references below, including the links to some tasty recipes.